Many of our fans asked about number portability recently. Looks like most of them don't have any idea about what it really means. I think it will be helpful if we can share some important basic ideas about number portability.
Yes, that makes sense. In fact, that makes a lot of sense since most of our fans ask about this. Now, we're talking about telephone numbers, not any other number. And when it comes to telephone numbers, ITU or the International Telecommunications Union defined that a telephone number, an international telephone number, could carry up to 15 digits. But depending on where you are, it could be 10 digits, 11 digits, 15 digits, going up to maximum of 15 digits. So these digits actually include the country code, the area codes, or it could be an operator code and your telephone number. And this is applicable to both mobile and fixed telephone number.
That's interesting. When you say my telephone number is this, does it really mean that you own that particular mobile number or the fixed line number? The answer is no. In a country, these numbers are owned by the regulator, and that regulatory body allocates these numbers to the local operators. It doesn't matter whether this operator is fixed or mobile. If you set aside the country code, the first 3 or 4 digits identifies the operator or the carrier, and in the case of fixed line, the first digits also identifies the area. In the case of mobile, that does not apply.
Now, what if we can keep that number, right, for the entirety of our life, just like our names, our NIC, national identification number, or social security number? That would be great, like if we can keep that number for the entirety of our lives. Now, it is only possible with the concept of number portability. Now, the number portability has two words in it. One is the number, the other one is portability. Number refers to your telephone number, whether it is fixed or mobile, and portability really means that you can port or carry the number with you. Now, whether you are connected with a fixed line operator or a mobile operator, these things are possible with number portability.
That's really cool, and it gives a higher degree of flexibility to the user or the subscriber. And it also gives a lot of pressure to the operator as well. Because in that case, the operator has to maintain their service in a supreme level. Otherwise, the subscriber will not stick to that operator. Not like previously, since the telephone number is not bound to a particular operator, the subscriber has the full flexibility of moving towards another operator.
Now, when it comes to number portability, we basically have three types. One is the service portability, the other one is the operator portability, other one is the location portability. Let's look at what these three portability options are. First, take the service portability. Service portability is that you can have multiple services, or rather you can change your service maybe within one operator but keep the same telephone number. Now, usually in telecom environment, whether it is fixed or mobile, multiple services like broadband, your IP television, or any other service is actually bound with a telephone number. Now, you need not buy a telephone number for each and every service, but rather you can keep your telephone number intact, but you can change your service as you wish. So that is service portability. The second one is operator portability, whereas I today work with one operator, let's say operator A, and tomorrow I want to shift to operator B, but keeping the same number. So in this case, the number is mine, but I change my operator. So that is called the operator portability. The third one is actually called the location portability. Location portability is actually, it's nothing to do with mobile, because mobile is everywhere. There's nothing called location portability. You can be anywhere you want. But when it comes to fixed line operators, location portability is very important. For example, in fixed line operators, traditionally these operators define different areas and they allocate different area codes. With portability with respect to the location, you can actually go from, let's suppose you are moving your house from one area to another area, but you can still carry the same telephone number, maybe with or without the area code, depending on the implementation that you have in your country. So these are the three types that you have with regard to the portability. Out of these three portability mechanisms, operator portability is the one very much popular today. So that includes both fixed and mobile. Let's take the mobile part first. In the case of number portability with respect to a mobile operator, we refer that to as mobile number portability, or MNP in short. You might have seen that in the news and also in other areas. The second one is local number portability. That is actually related to fixed number portability, right? So that is to do with fixed operators, how to port your number from one operator to another operator. Now mobile, if you theory take, mobile is wireless, meaning that you're actually not wired to the operator. You are using a mobile handset and you can freely move anywhere you want. So that's kind of easy. But when it comes to fixed number portability, fixed lines, if it is not wireless, usually you are connected using a copper or fiber wire. So changing from one location to the other, or rather changing an operator, is not easy. So you need several other things, for example, local loop unbundling and several other things to implement fixed number portability. Not necessary, but those are things associated with that.
Exactly. Since the MNP or the mobile number portability has become the most popular choice among the subscribers, now let's see what is the way of implementing MNP in a particular country. Actually, there are two ways of technically doing this. The first approach is the peer-to-peer approach. In that case, the two mobile operators have to discuss with each other and they have to do it directly. The second way of doing it is what we call the centralized approach. So there should be a third party, probably the regulator, and in this method, first of all, the regulator has to implement a number portability clearing house, and this is a centralized system that interconnects all mobile operators within that country. So in this case, all the mobile operators should have some kind of a gateway, or we call it the number portability gateway, connecting their mobile networks to the clearing house. So for an example, let's say I want to change my number. So what I have to do is sending an SMS to a short code or any access number of that mobile number portability clearing house. Once I made that request, the clearing house passed that message or the request to the operator which I currently being served, and after some few steps I will have to sign a new contract with my new operator. That is related to what packages I'm choosing, whether I'm going to be a postpaid subscriber or a prepaid subscriber, and the facilities I'm going to get from that new operator, and so on.
That's great. But when the regulator actually implements the central clearinghouse, and as Rajiv said, when you want to shift from one operator to the other, things are not that easy. Now, when you actually want to move from operator A to operator B, there are certain criteria that a regulator would actually impose on you. Now, the first one is that you need to actually settle all the bills that you have with the previous operator. That's obvious. And the second one is that you need to be an active mobile customer for a stipulated period of time, usually 90 days. And that is done because otherwise, if people transferring their, or rather changing their operators every day, this is not going to work. It's going to be very messy thing. So therefore, regulator usually implements these two criteria. One is settling the bills, other one is being an active customer for a stipulated period of time. But other than that, a regulator, depending on that particular country, a regulator would implement certain other criteria as well, because the regulator's main objective out of many other objectives is actually keep the industry balance or the ecosystem balance. So the regulator would do that.
In the case of MNP, the operator who's providing this service should have enough capacity or enough resources to provide this service. What if all the existing subscribers of a certain operator try to transfer or migrate themselves to another operator overnight? Then there will be a huge capacity issue. That issue should be addressed carefully, and the regulator should have certain criteria to overcome such issues when allowing the MNP happen in a particular country, and also that will ensure the stability of that ecosystem.
All right. Now, what countries are actually implementing mobile number portability? We are talking about mobile number portability because that is the wider choice within number portability. Now, if you really take, Singapore is the first country actually to implement mobile number portability. That is back in 1997. After that, there are several other countries starting from, let's say, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, United States, UK, Italy, Germany, Spain, even India, they have implemented mobile number portability. So other countries will also start implementing mobile number portability in the due course.
Wonderful. We are sure that now it's clear to you what number portability is and how it impacts the society and the mobile industry and also your lifestyle. If you have further questions, please comment here, or you can reach us via all the social media platforms.